All right, we got a lot to break down in this one, and it was a good one for sure. And I had another big hand with pocket aces, similar to the last session I posted, but it played out a little bit differently. I'm also going to be explaining why micro stakes is generally a waste of your time. It's going to be more than just an opinion. I'll get into that. But for those of you watching for the first time, I like to give a little background on myself. I've basically been playing for the last 2 decades. I hop on about 4 times a week playing mid stakes. I don't have one type of strategy like GTO, ABC, or whatever. I really focus on two things. The first is making good decisions because at the end of the day, we do have control over that. And the second thing is that I try and use strategies against my opponents and exploit them as much as possible. Meaning, I'm going to bluff somebody without hesitating if I think they're weak. And after playing so many hands, you just pick up on little things a lot quicker. Of course, as I'm getting in this, I also want to let you guys know we have an awesome community in the pinned comments section where you can talk with me one-on-one as well as with some other high-level members. Now, if you're kind of just stuck or hitting a wall at your current stake or just want to take things more seriously, I highly recommend getting in. Also, you guys could tap the like and let's get right into this. And this is also going to run for about 20 minutes. So, grab a bottle of water, some Gatorade, some coffee, sit back and, let's lock in. All right. But here's the thing about playing the micro games, right? I think they cap your growth because you're always playing against the same regs fighting for these tiny pots. You're also building habits that really don't translate into getting better, because everyone's kind of just playing like an ABC type of style, and that's it. The other thing too is like, your time is worth something. And, honestly, if you're sitting there for like 5 or 6 hours in a day, you're not going to get much out of those games. And I don't care if you're playing like 4, 6, 10 tables at a time, but I also think it's kind of just like the habits that you kind of build playing those games. They're just not going to give you any real growth. So like I said, it's just an opinion, but it's more than an opinion because I see it all the time. We're all doing this because we enjoy playing. Obviously, I do. There's the entertainment aspect of it, but you should also be kind of thinking a little bit about your time as well. And that's all I'm saying, guys. Um, you know, Check this out right here, player four. Whoa. Um, wow. Okay, player four actually had a really big draw there, which was that was kind of brutal. Now, if you want to comment, chime in about anything I'm saying, you definitely can. Obviously, like I know I'm gonna get some people who disagree with me. It is what it is, guys. But I just feel like I've been doing this long enough where I could at least give you some insight in how to maybe think a little bit differently. All right. Anyways, pocket fives, man. Pocket fives. Now you don't see this happen too often, right? Um, I think player six is gonna do like a little min raise here. I'm gonna just make this call, obviously with fives, and hopefully we get the five right. Player two also came along, and player five. So we actually went four ways to this flop, and it took me a second here. Sometimes you have to like look a couple times when you see a flop like this, but yeah, man, we did it. What else can I say? I would have been happy just getting one of them, one of those fives, but they gave us two. They give us two fives here. Like, are you serious? Now, obviously, we can't get another one. They're all there, but I'm just hoping somebody's got something. I mean, could you imagine having pocket jacks right now? Oh my, that would be a bad day. Okay, that would be a bad day for sure. But yeah, I slow play this. I was really just trying to see if somebody. I'm really hoping like an ace or a king hits the river here, because the way this is playing out so far, it seems like nobody really has anything. But just slow playing it. River card was an ace, which was really the card I was looking for because you got to imagine we got three other people in this hand. Somebody's got the ace, dude. Like for sure. All right, player six. Didn't have a whole lot left. He's just gonna go for it here. And I kind of continued to slow play this, hoping. In I think this probably could have been a mistake here. Maybe I should have raised this, but you know, I felt like if I raised it, then I'm gonna get these other two guys to fold if one of them also has an ace. So that's why I just made the call here. I just think if I raised it, I don't think player two would have made the call, but he did. So I think we kind of just squeezed out what we could have out of there, and it is what it is. I think that's probably the most we were gonna get. I'm not mad about it. I think it was totally fine, but yeah, I mean quads. We got quads, guys. What else can I say? But yeah, I mean, don't go anywhere. Like I said, we got a lot of good stuff coming up, and you got to stick around to the end for the pocket aces situation. I'll tell you guys what. Going to be worth it for sure. All right, player 5 opened up here to the 20 piece. Now, I always like to look at the. I mean, I made this call, it was a little bit loose, obviously. It's offsuit. I don't normally do it. But actually, not a terrible flop for the 6 7 off. I mean, we got the 5. We're blocking spades. We got the 6 of spades. I mean, the 5 would give us the biscuits here, you know. Of course, we didn't get it. You know, it did feel like neither of these guys really had anything, which is kind of why I went for this play right here. Check this out. All right, player 5 is going to put out a little bit here. Just a little bit. It felt weak to me too, and I already said this when we started. Like if I feel somebody's weak, then I'm gonna make a move, right? Which is exactly what I did right here. So we're gonna raise them up to the 39 piece, back over to player 2, who I'm expecting just to get out the way. Back over to player 5, who I think this is probably gonna get done, and it did. So, yeah, man. River card was a king. I mean, we played a garbage hand, but it worked out, right? So. Anyways, King 8. I don't think I played this. Let's see. Maybe I did. I mean, we are in the small blind here. All right, just mucked it. It's just not, if it was suited, obviously, like I'm thinking about raising or whatever, but yeah, King 8 offsuit. It looks like we would have definitely had some outs going to the river here. We would have had the 5 to the straight. We also would have had the spade. Oh, the spade came in. Oh, man. Look at that. Wow. Oh, well. What are you going to do? We move on. All right, next we had a king-queen offsuit. A pretty standard button raise right here. Back over to player 3. Is he going to muck it? Ooh, he re-raised us. I actually let it go. The reason I did that, guys, was because you do notice sometimes, like, when people are playing pretty tight at the table, and I did notice he was kind of playing tight, so I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt. If I was suited with that king-queen, I probably would have just made the call. Now, you might think that was a little tight, but like I said, man, you kind of just pick up on these little things, and that's exactly what was going on right there, so I let it go. All right, 2-3 suited. I think a part of me wanted to play that, even though I didn't, because it's a 2-3. You know what I mean? All right, pocket jacks. All right, so this is our second pocket pair. I'm not expecting to hit quads in this, and I don't think I hit quads, but I think we did get there, though. So now, player 5, open to the 15 piece. I probably should have re-raised this, so don't hate me for this play. I probably should have, but I'm going to end up just calling this. I definitely should have raised this, for sure. And I mean, 3 ways to the flop. I mean, we got the jack right there. Now, we have to be aware. Player 5 could have opened raised with a lot of like ace queen, ace king, even some king queen type of hands. So I am thinking about that a little bit here. And it's a flop where do we want to raise now or do we want to continue slow playing? That's kind of the thing that I have to ask myself in a spot like this. I'm expecting player 5 to continue with anything here, especially any kind of draw. Now he went pretty small. We still have player 2 in this hand as well. So I just called. I was hoping player 2 would come along. He didn't. Ace on the turn, not the card I was looking for. I was looking more for like a 4 or 10. We are blocking the backdoor clubs. King, queen did get there, though. he checked it, which was pretty weak. And then when we got the 4 on the river, that's exactly what we needed. So now I made the play I made here. I was trying to make it look like a bluff. That's why I did this. I wanted to make my hand look like a bluff and try to get this guy to maybe call with ace king, ace queen type of thing. Sometimes it happens, you know. I went for it, it didn't work out. We still took it down. So, it is what it is, guys. All right, next time we have the Doyle Brunson. We are just going to let the Brunson go here. I mean, it's the Brunson. All right, yeah, player 4 opened, and I don't know, pretty boring flop. It's all good though. All right, turn card's a 10. All right, player 4 went for it again. Player 2 just gave it up. Kind of expected that. Okay, nice looking hand here. We got the king jack of hearts. We are in the big blind, which is nice, you know. Gotta raise this up, man. We ain't limping this. No, sir. No, sir. All right, we didn't get what we needed there. I actually just checked this. I probably should have continued. Turn card good, giving us the up and down straight draw. Played this extremely weak at this point. Player 2 went for it here. Obviously, we're just going to call. And we missed. So I played this hand terribly. I should have continued on the flop, but I didn't. Probably would have just taken it down. But sometimes I just, I misplay hands, guys. It is what it is. All right, ace 10 off. We are in the small blind here. And like I said, I hope you're still with me because we do have this big hand coming up. And I think it's coming up next. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it is. All right, player 2 is going to defend. We got nothing here again, right? I checked it. Another check. I don't have a spade here. I really have nothing. But this guy checked it all the way down too, so I was thinking maybe we're good here with ace high. And yeah, we were. So I'll take it, man. I'll bake it. Whatever. Whatever, okay? All right, aces. This is the one we've been waiting for. And this was a very interesting hand. I'm not going to lie. Like, I think the last time I had this, the last session I posted, we took a big L. But in this spot, things were a little bit different. And I got a little creative here. All right, so it's just gonna fold around. So we're just gonna kick it up here on the button. It's nice to have aces on the button sometimes because it's pretty. People expect you to raise a lot on the button with pretty wide. So if you have aces, it's pretty sneaky. Back over to player 3. I think he raised it. Let's see what he did. No, he just called. Flop, not bad. Okay, I'm gonna continue here, as you can imagine. Player 3 is going to kind of confuse me with what he's going to do here. Oh no, he just called. All right, turn card was a 5. So I feel like aces are pretty good here a lot of the time. He could have a pair of jacks, a 10 maybe, but he is going to raise us here. I mean, we get raised here on the turn. I'm thinking maybe 2 pair is possible a lot of the time. But we have aces, so it's not like we can fold at this point, you know. He's going to kick it up pretty big. I reluctantly called. River card was a 9. Now, that was not a good card either. King, queen got there, queen 8. You know, 2 pairs probably good. I basically turned my hand into a bluff because I figured if player 3 has 2 pair, maybe I can rep a straight. You know, that's really what I was thinking here. You know, and that's basically what I'm doing. Okay, I definitely feel like we're behind at this point. It just felt that way. So this was very confusing. So get ready for it, okay? Very confusing. Now he's going to let the clock run down. He's going to go pretty small. Now this is why I made this play because like I said, it felt like we have to turn aces into a bluff. And he called us and lost. I don't know what he had. I have to imagine he had a pair of jacks, but that was it. So somehow that one worked out right there. When he called us so quickly, I just felt like we were losing. But for whatever reason, he called us extremely light there. Me turning aces into a bluff somehow took that down. He didn't have two pair. He didn't get a straight on the river. He just had a pair of jacks most likely, and I am, you know, happy with the result. Okay. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed another one here. Like I said, pin comment, you know, get in the community if you're watching the vids here. Subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.